All right, go ahead.
Hey, good night, everyone. Our group will be presenting on chapter 13, sorry, vision and strategic direction. So, group members are Ronald, Jack, Zoe, and Peters, and myself, Saraswati Sumaru. So we have a little quote here. It says the difference between a dreamer and a visionary is a excuse me, is that a dreamer has his eyes closed and a visionary has his eyes open. So now we'll be going straight into the presentation. We'll start with our introduction by Renelle.
Good night, everyone. Okay, so leadership encompasses influencing and inspiring individuals or groups towards a common goal or vision, guided by integrity, empathy, and effective decision making. It involves a diverse skill set, including communication, delegation, motivation, and problem solving, as well as strategic thinking. Sorry. What is strategic leadership? So, strategic leadership involves anticipating and preparing for future challenges, articulating a clear vision for the organization's future, adapting to changing circumstances, and empowering others to contribute to strategic goals. So, ultimately, they drive long term success by setting direction, aligning resources, and fostering innovation and collaboration. Why is strategic leadership important? So, strategic leadership is imperative due to its role in navigating the uncertainties of today's dynamic business environment. By anticipating and preparing for future challenges, strategic leaders ensure that organizations remain adaptable and responsive to changing circumstances. They provide a clear vision and direction, aligning efforts and resources towards common goals and fostering a sense of purpose among employees. By anticipating and preparing for future challenges, strategic leaders would ensure that organizations remain adaptable and responsive to changing circumstances. This technique is essential for guiding organizations through complexity, enabling them to effectively capitalize on opportunities and achieve their strategic objectives. How does strategic leadership tie into vision and strategic direction? So, strategic leadership is closely intertwined with vision and strategic direction. They are responsible for developing and communicating strategic direction that aligns with the organization's vision. This involves setting clear goals and objectives, identifying strategic priorities, and outlining the steps they need to achieve them. Vision serves as the guiding star. Okay, sorry about that. Vision serves as a guiding star for an organization, providing a clear and compelling picture of what the organizations is aspire to achieve in the future. This is because it involves charting a course of action to realize that vision. Okay, strategic leaders continuously assess and adapt the strategic direction in response to changes in the external environment and internal capabilities. Strategic leadership intricately linked to vision and strategic direction. The domain of strategic leadership encompasses a multi-faced array of responsibilities aimed at steering organizations towards long-term success in a dynamic environment. Okay, but what about the domain of strategic leadership? Central to this domain is the establishment of compelling vision for the organization's future, coupled with the strategic direction needed to realize it. They continuously scan the external environment, identifying opportunities and threats that may impact the organization's strategic position, while also adaptively managing resources to support the strategic initiatives. Cultivating an organizational culture conducive to innovation, collaboration, and adaptability is another crucial aspect alongside managing change initiatives effectively. So, strategic leaders would engage with key stakeholders to garner support for strategic objectives, mitigate risk, monitor performance, and also evaluate the effectiveness of these strategic initiatives. So, now that we have cleared a few things up, let's get on to the meat of the matter. What is vision? Okay, so vision represents a clear and compelling portrayal of the future that a leader envisions for their organization. Vision goes beyond goal setting and it provides an inspirational story that defines what the organization hopes to achieve in the long term. It provides a feeling of direction and purpose, making it easier to organize efforts and resources around shared goals. Because when people understand and embrace the vision, they are more inclined to commit to the organization and its overarching goals. A leader's vision drives employees' dedication. It acts as a guiding beacon, directing efforts and resources towards common goals. Why is vision or leadership vision important? Vision and leadership vision are critical to an organization's success and longevity. Without a vision, organizations risk becoming aimless and lacking cohesiveness and focus. A captivating vision sparks passion and excitement, inspiring people to go above and beyond in the pursuit of common goals. Leadership vision fosters alignment and coherence within the organization. It ensures that everyone is working towards the same objectives, reducing conflicts, enhancing collaboration, just making sure there's a sense of unity and solidarity. Leadership vision attracts stakeholders and enhances an organization's reputation. So a compelling vision resonates with customers, investors, partners, just drawing them to the organization and inspiring their support. So, do you think that you really understand? Let's reinforce this some bit. So, the nature of vision. Vision within an organization serves as a beacon of clarity. It offers a vivid portrayal of the desired future state that guides the organization's trajectory, and it embodies forward thinking aspirations. Vision is not developed in isolation, it's a collaborative endeavor and it involves input from diverse stakeholders within and outside of the organization. The nature of vision is inherently adaptable and flexible. Effective leaders recognize that businesses is constantly evolving, sorry. And as such, they regularly revisit and refine the vision to ensure its relevance and resonance in the light of changing circumstances. This adaptability enables organizations to remain agile and responsive.
All right, so we'll be moving on. I hope you got what Ronell just said. Um, I know most of you would usually see two different words that would pop up when you're at an organization or you're in a business place, or even if you are somebody who owns their own business and is into that regard, you might see the word vision and mission. I know sometimes persons usually believe that they're the same thing or they might have the same objective. So let's clarify that for a bit because they're really not the same thing. So vision is actually a forward-looking statement that explains the organization's long-term aspirations and goals, whereas the mission defines the fundamental purpose of the organization. Vision also focuses on the ideal or destination that the organization is striving to reach. Whereas a mission statement usually focuses on the present activities and objectives of an organization. Also, a compelling vision inspires and motivates stakeholders, including employees, customers, and investors. On the other hand, mission statements guide day-to-day operations and decision-making within the organization. Vision statements are usually broad, overarching statements that transcend specific goals or time frames, while mission statements are typically more specific and actionable than vision statements. I'm so sorry.
Okay, can you guys think of any visionaries throughout history? Anyone that comes to your mind? No? All right. Okay, so some examples of visionaries would be, for one, Steve Jobs. He's fairly popular. He's a visionary at Apple Incorporated who revolutionized the technology industry. You know, with groundbreaking products like the iPhone and the iPad, he transformed the way people interact with technology, introducing user-friendly designs and innovative features that set new standards for computing and communication. His vision not only propelled Apple to unprecedented success, but also reshaped entire industries, leaving a lasting legacy that continues to influence the modern world. Next, we'll have Martin Luther King Jr., who I think all of us know. He is an iconic visionary in the field of civil rights. He inspired millions of people around the world with his goal of racial equality and justice. His powerful lectures and peaceful activities sparked a movement that challenged structural racism and equality in the United States. His persistent commitment to nonviolent resistance, as well as a vision of a society founded on equality and justice, were critical in advancing the civil rights cause, clearing the way for substantial legislative and social reforms. Similar to Martin Luther King Jr., we have Nelson Mandela. His visionary leadership in South Africa demonstrated the transformational power of a bold vision for change. He was South Africa's first Black president and managed the country's peaceful transitions from apartheid to democracy, preaching that despite enormous racial inequities, peace and concord are possible. His vision of a democratic and racially inclusive South Africa, inspired hope and tenacity, leading to significant social and political change and international recognition as a symbol of peace and healing. Next, we have Elon Musk. Elon Musk has emerged as a visionary leader in technology and sustainability. With lofty aims and imaginative solutions that have pushed the limits of what is possible, Elon Musk is the CEO of SpaceX and Tesla. He's also recently set his eyes on colonizing Mars and expediting the shift to renewable energy. With this vision of his for a future in which mankind goes beyond Earth and adopts sustainable technologies, has fueled investments and innovation in space exploration and renewable energy, influencing the direction of these industries for years to come. Finally, sorry, we have Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi's visionary leadership during India's war for independence demonstrates the transformative power of non-violent resistance and grassroots movement. His vision of a free and independent India sparked mass movements and societal reform, eventually resulting in the country's independence from British domain. Gandhi's legacy as a visionary leader and civil rights advocate continues to inspire global movements for justice and equality, demonstrating the long-term impact of visionary leadership on history and society.
All right. So now that you got your thoughts and views together, how do you create a compelling vision statement? You have to define your purpose. This means that you must understand the fundamental purpose of the organization. What is the reason for its existence? This provides a foundation for the vision. You cannot just have an idea or a dream and just leave it there. Why do you have that vision or that dream? Why you want to go about and say, for example, um, I may want to start a business and my business is events. Why is this my dream? And what is my purpose in doing this? I can't just get up and say I'm going to start doing events randomly like this without a clear focus on why I am doing this. Next, you must identify your core values. This means that you must determine the key values that the organization stands for. These values guide its actions and decisions. You cannot just simply rely on having your vision to guide you. There must be little things in between that sets you apart and keeps you steadfast in what you believe in. I know for a lot of organizations and businesses, they may have their vision, but there are a lot of key factors like this that help them to stay firm. For example, some persons may have a business to help others in need. There are organizations that has those things where they give free pads and menstrual I'm so sorry for with sniffing and free menstrual products to women in need. That is their core value because they believe that women deserve to have free access to these necessities. That is their core value. You must also envision the future. Imagine what success looks like for the organization in the future. You must consider both the tangible goals and broad aspirations. You cannot remain stagnant for today and say, yeah, this is it for the year, this is it for the month, this is it for the week. The world is rapidly changing and evolving. You must be consistent with that and think about what is going to come, what is coming, what is going to be there. That's why you say stay consistent with your business. This is how you keep on top of your goals and ensure that nothing changes within your foundation like that. You must also make it memorable. Keep the vision statement concise and memorable. Use language that is clear, vivid, and easily understood by all stakeholders. Have you ever looked on a wall in a business and you see in a little plaque or frame where they have their vision statements and mission? Have you ever taken time out to actually read it? When you read it, did you understood what it means, and have you ever laid it against what that organization stands for? I know, for instance, this way I was going to building, I'm waiting and I'm trying to pass time now. Look on the wall and I'll see it and read it. And sometimes I read it. I was like, this is not making no sense to me. Not all the time, some of these vision statements I understood, but there are other times where I understood. And as I said, for stakeholders to understand, you must have a vision that is memorable and easily understood. You must inspire action. The vision statement should inspire and motivate stakeholders to work towards a common goal. It should evoke emotions and a sense of purpose. I'll be very honest with you. I've worked before starting my degree, and I worked in the radiology department back home, and we didn't really have a vision. Well, the hospital have a vision statement of its own, which I wasn't aware of. But the department itself, we didn't really have a vision. And I never felt inspired to do anything. I would just come and wake up every morning and say, get to work for 7 or whatever time my shift is at work. I'll just do my work. I will just do what I have to do. I'll do nothing else. I'll do nothing more. I'll do nothing less. I will just do what is required for me to do. I never felt compelled to do more. And that is what your vision statement should be. It should be able to inspire your employees to do what you want and to do your goals, because that's how your organization will move forward and succeed. You must also align your vision statement with strategy. You must ensure that the vision statement aligns with the organization's strategic objectives. It should provide a sense of direction for future growth and development. You can't just get up one morning, as I said, and just say, I'm going to open a business, I can open an organization, I can do A, B, C, or D. It will go and fall like that. That cannot work. You must have a plan. There must be a sense of direction. Usually when you are traveling, if you notice, the theme of our presentation is a journey. When you're traveling, you just don't get up and buy your ticket and just hope for the best. I know some people do that and that works for them, but with regards to businesses and organizations, you can't just do that. With your vision statement, you must have a plan. You must have a path you're willing to take. You must know what is your rest stops and what where you must stop in to gather yourself, maybe realign, go back to the drawing board. You must have a direction and a path with little objectives and little rest stops for you to make sure that you're on the right path. You must also review and refine. You must also continue to review and refine the vision statement as the objectives, as the organization evolves. It should remain relevant and reflective of the organization's aspirations. As I said, this world is rapidly changing. We have technology being integrated into almost everything. We have AI that is being more and more involved in our jobs and our businesses. You can't just say, stick if your business was created in 2001. You cannot remain in 2001. You must move to 2005, 2010, 2020, and 2024. There are different trends that was going on. So you must be always on your game, reviewing, making sure that your vision statement still aligns with what is going on. Society is changing. I'm so sorry. What might have been okay in the past might not be okay now. We have a lot of these things where I'm so sorry, with LGBTQ community, where we have our, we must consider them into our objectives and our visions when it comes to doing anything. It's so iffy these days with how you move and with what you say and what you do. So you must be able to review what you have. I'm so sorry, and continue always refining and change it and tweaking it to suit your the current times as well as future changes. So we have techniques for involving the stakeholders in the vision development process. So you must identify key stakeholders. So identify all the relevant stakeholders, including employees, customers, investors, and community members, as I said. You must also facilitate workshops and brainstorming sessions. So organize workshops or brainstorming sessions to gather input from stakeholders, encourage them to open dialogue and creative thinking. You may have your vision, that is your dream. But in order for your dream and your vision to take off, you have a team, and this team ultimately is the one who is going to make your dream a reality. So include your customers. They may have input that is very necessary and very vital to developing your vision. I know for credit unions and banks, they would have their sometimes biannually, sometimes monthly meetings where they invite their customers and their stakeholders into their meetings, to discuss things that is going on within the organization, so that they're aware of what is going on, any changes that might be going on, and they can give their input, and that is very, very valuable. You must also use surveys and feedback mechanisms. So distribute surveys, use feedback mechanisms such as Google Forms. We have technology, so much things like SurveyMonkey, in the WhatsApp, you might have a work chat for your colleagues and employers and employees. Send out polls, ask questions, so that you can collect input from stakeholders who may not be able to participate in person, because everybody's thoughts and ideas and opinions is very valuable. Must create cross-functional teams. Cross-functional teams represent different departments or the areas in the organization. This ensures that diverse perspectives are considered. You must also provide context and background information. You must share relevant information about the organization history, the current state, and future aspirations to provide context for stakeholders. You must facilitate collaboration and consensus building. You must encourage collaboration and consensus building among stakeholders to ensure the alignment and commitment to the vision. You must also communicate progress and updates. Keep your stakeholders involved and informed about the progress of the vision development process. Regular updates foster transparency and engagement. Once again, as a person, if I am in a group, I'm in an organization, I'm working for a business, I would feel very, very, very underappreciated if I don't know what is going on. Nobody's telling me anything. I would feel so left out. And as I said, your team members, your employees, your stakeholders are very vital for your progress and for your success of the vision that you might have in mind. So keep all these little things in mind. And lastly, you must seek leadership support. You must gain support from organizational leaders to reinforce the importance of stakeholders' involvement in the vision development process. When you're born, you don't know everything. You do not have all of the knowledge that is required for you to lead or to run a business or run an organization. There are so many persons out there who may be in the same field as you, who has more experience than you. You do not know everything, unfortunately. And a lot of persons, they would fail the moment they think like that. When you think that you know everything and you think you know how to run a business, you think you know how to have your vision going to lead you to success. That is not true. Again, I'll bring myself as an example. I have an events business. I do events on part-time when I do my degree. And when I first started this, I thought doing events was going to be like a quick snap. I call this person, I call a DJ, I call this person, get a venue, sell some tickets, and that is not it. I had to step back and look at the go back to the drawing board and seek persons who are in this field, so I could gain more experience, gain advice. I had to contact persons who have been in the events industry for a longer period of time than I have. I had to go back and learn from them as if I'm a student. Do little tasks such as selling tickets, getting people in recruited on a team, and then slowly they would give me advice and say, hey, this is what to do when it's time for you to do your business. This is what you have to do. This is A, B, C, or D. So always continue, look up, not look. You must also seek advice to persons because, as I said, you don't know everything, and you will learn insights on how to make that vision really a reality and take you where you want to be. Renelle?
Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. I was coughing a bit there. Have you ever stopped to read an organization's vision statement? Have you ever for a moment reflected on what those words mean? Or do you think that organization has held steadfast to its vision? Here I have some examples of vision statements from actual companies. So the first one will be Amazon. Its vision statement being to be its most customer-centric company where customers can find and discover anything they might want to buy online. The second one being Google. Its vision statement is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. Tesla's vision statement being to create the most compelling car company of the 21st century by driving the world's transition to electric vehicles. Microsoft's vision statement being empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. Do any of these vision statements stick out to you? I have a few more vision statements here, like Starbucks, their vision statement being to inspire and nurture the human spirit, one person, one cup, and one neighborhood at a time. Nike's vision statement is to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. If you have a body, you're an athlete. And then finally, I have the Walt Disney Company, their vision statement being to be one of the world's leading producers and providers of entertainment and information. Okay, so you have your vision, but are you being strategic with the path you take? Haven't you noticed that this is a journey? Having a vision will take you places you never expect to be, but be strategic about your decisions. So, what is strategic direction? Strategic direction is the fundamental path that an organization takes to attain its long term goals and realize its vision. It involves coordinating goals with the firm's mission, placing the organization in the market, allocating resources efficiently, managing risk, and remaining flexible to change. Strategic direction really just provides like a roadmap for organizational performance, directing decision making and actions towards the common goals and objectives. Okay, so some applications in the real world, like Apple. Apple's strategic direction under the leadership of Steve Jobs is focused on innovation and customer centricity, right? Jobs emphasize the importance of creating products that seamlessly integrates hardware and software, providing users with intuitive and aesthetically pleasing experiences. This strategic direction has led us to the development of products like I mentioned earlier, the iPhone and the iPad, with revolutionized technology and the technology industry. Another example would be Amazon. So Amazon's strategic direction is centered around customer obsession and long-term thinking. The founder of Amazon and CEO, Jeff Bezos, has prioritized customer satisfaction above all else. He strives to offer a wide selection of products, competitive prices, and convenient delivery options. So this customer-centric approach drove Amazon's expansion from a simple online bookstore to a global e-commerce giant, as well as its major diversification into cloud computing, digital streaming, and artificial intelligence, right? Next, we have Tesla. So Tesla's strategic direction is led by its CEO, Elon Musk. It is focused on accelerating the world's transition to sustainable energy. Elon Musk, his vision is to basically develop affordable electric vehicles and renewable energy solution that reduces humanity's dependence on fossil fuels. This is an effort to mitigate the effects of climate change. So Tesla's strategic direction encompasses not only the production of the electric vehicles, but also the development of energy storage systems and solar energy products, as well as the advancements of autonomous driving technology. Next, we have Netflix. Netflix strategic direction revolves around disrupting the traditional entertainment industry and becoming the world's leading streaming service. The CEO of Netflix, Reed Hastings, pioneered the shift from simple physical DVD rentals then to online streaming, as he recognized the potential of internet based distribution for delivery on demand entertainment content. Netflix strategic direction involves investing heavily in original content, expanding its global footprint, and leveraging data analytics to personalize recommendations, and enhance the user experience. Yeah, I'm done with that slide, Zoe. I'm finished with that slide, Zoe. Yeah. It
All
seems
right.
as if we're experiencing a bit. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It seems as if we're experiencing some turbulence, though. How would you fix any challenges that arise when it comes to applying your strategic direction and your vision? Aligning vision, strategic direction, and ethics aside, organizations necessitates navigating several complex problems. One of the most significant challenges is developing clear communication channels to guarantee that every person in the business fully knows the overarching vision, strategic goals, and ethical values. Without this clarity, misalignment can readily emerge, resulting in uncertainty and inconsistency in decision-making processes. Furthermore, balancing long-term strategic goals with urgent ethical issues is a huge challenge. Organizations are frequently pressured to produce short-term financial benefits, which may contradict ethical standards or long-term sustainability objectives. This contradiction highlights the significance of strong ethical frameworks and strategic planning processes that prioritize this ethical behavior while achieving long-term success. Also, cultural variety hinders alignment efforts, especially for multinational firms, which operate in regions with different cultural norms and values. Adapting ethical standards to accommodate these cultural differences without jeopardizing integrity necessitates a sophisticated approach which values varied perspectives while adhering to universal ethical principles. Also, ethical decision making in organizations is intrinsically complex, requiring the consideration of competing interests and ideals. Establishing clear norms and practices for dealing with ethical quandaries is critical for maintaining consistency and integrity throughout the company. Furthermore, firms must develop effective risk management techniques to detect, reduce, and address potential ethical hazards proactively. External pressures from stakeholders like customers, investors, and regulators complicate alignment efforts. These stakeholders may have conflicting expectations and demands, demanding rigorous negotiations to achieve consistency with the organization's vision and ethical standards, while also meeting external expectations. Employee involvement and buy-in are critical for attaining alignment of vision, strategic direction, and ethics. Cultivating a culture of ethical behavior requires constant efforts to educate, empower, and motivate people to represent the organization's principles in their everyday actions and decisions. So, how do you overcome these challenges? To overcome the challenges for aligning vision, strategic direction, and ethics within organizations, there are several strategies that can be employed. Number one, you must have clear communication. Establish transparent communication channels to ensure that the organization's vision, strategic goals, and ethical principles are communicated to all stakeholders. As I said, regular communication, including town hall meetings, newsletters, and training sessions, can help reinforce alignment and understanding. You must have ethical leadership. Foster a culture of ethical leadership at all levels of the organization. Leaders must exemplify ethical behavior and decision making, serving as role models for employees. Provide training and support for leaders to navigate ethical dilemmas effectively and promote ethical conduct throughout the organization. We must also have alignment frameworks. Develop frameworks or models that integrate vision, strategic direction, and ethics into decision making processes. These frameworks can guide evaluating strategic initiatives, ensuring that they align with the organization's long-term goals and ethical principles. You must have cultural sensitivity, acknowledge and respect cultural differences within the organization, adapt ethical standards and strategic initiatives to accommodate diverse cultural perspectives while upholding universal ethical principles. Encourage open dialogue and collaboration to bridge cultural gaps and foster mutual understanding. We must also have employee engagement. Actively engage employees in the alignment process by soliciting feedback, encouraging participation in its decision making, and providing opportunities for training and development. Empowering employees to contribute to the organization's vision and strategic direction while upholding ethical standards in their daily You must have ethics training. Offer comprehensive ethics training programs to educate employees about the organization's ethical standards, codes of conduct, and decision-making frameworks. You must provide real-life case studies and scenarios to help employees navigate ethical dilemmas effectively and make ethical decisions in their roles. You must also have risk management. Implement robust risk management strategies to identify, assess, and mitigate potential ethical risk within the organization. Regularly review and update risk assessments to address emerging threats and ensure alignment with the organization's vision and strategic direction. And lastly, you must have stakeholder engagement. Engage with external stakeholders, including customers, investors, and regulators, to understand the expectations and concerns regarding ethical conduct and strategic initiatives. Maintain open communication channels to address stakeholder feedback and build trust and credibility with external partners. I know that you guys may be sitting there and thinking that I have been repeating the same thing over and over again, but everything just basically ties in to what I said before Renelle spoke. You must have your employees and your stakeholders continuously involved when it comes to enhancing and developing your vision. That is what a leader must do. A leader isn't just somebody who would sit and fill that role or capacity thinking that they can run things on their own and that they know everything. You do not know everything and you cannot run things on your own. And this is how you can really mitigate your company or your organization or your business crashing and burning, right? All right. So I have to go back a bit for strategic direction before we reinforce the point of communication.
Okay, guys, so just to jump back a bit, like Zoe said, the strategic direction. I just want to talk a little bit about what strategic direction relationship is to vision and why they are paired or quote unquote married together. So, strategic direction and vision are inextricably intertwined, right? Acting as guiding principles for a company's success. Vision serves as the long term goal and a sense of purpose, while strategic direction specifies the particular actions and priorities required to make that vision a reality. They work together to guarantee that that organization has coherence, has concentration, inspiration, and agility, driving coordinated activities towards an overall goal. This combination is critical for delivering both inspiration and practical guidance, allowing businesses to negotiate between challenges while achieving sustained development and impact. Adding to that, I want to talk about some importance of strategic directions. So, strategic direction is critical for organizations, as you guys have realized, especially when setting and achieving long term goals. It provides clarity and focus by outlining the organization's objectives so that everyone understands that the expected outcomes can coordinate their efforts appropriately, right? This alignment promotes cohesion and effectiveness throughout the organization. This strategic direction will also direct resource allocation, allowing leaders to select projects and investments that support long term goals, maximizing capabilities, and boosting the likelihood of success. It also acts as a decision making framework, allowing staff to make decisions that align with the organization's strategic direction. And finally, despite setting long term goals, the strategic direction provides for adaptability, allowing businesses to modify methods in response to changing circumstances while remaining dedicated to overall aims. So, in all essence, strategic direction is critical for giving clarity, alignment, and emphasis on long term goals which drive organizational success and sustainability.
All right. Thank you, Renelle. We'll be moving on. I hope you guys were listening and taking in that we said. It may be seems like we're going back and forth, but everything ties into each other. So we'll be moving on to Sarah for her to continue this lovely presentation.
Okay, so now we're looking at utilizing communication and implementing a vision. So, how to communicate your vision and strategic direction effectively. So, you have a plan and a vision for your team as a leader, but how do you ensure that everyone on your team is aware of and on board with them? To inspire, motivate, and engage your team, it is essential that you communicate your vision and strategy clearly. Some actions can take long to guarantee that your strategic and vision are understood by your team. Are number one, define your vision and strategy. You must first define your vision and strategy in a clear manner before communicating them. Your purpose, your ideal future state, and your long term objective are all parts of your vision. Your strategy is a combination of how you approach plans and actions to realize your goal. Make sure your plan and vision are measurable, acceptable, and realistic when you put them in writing. Number two, share your vision and strategy. You must communicate your vision and plan to your team after you have established them. To deliver your messages, use a variety of platforms and formats, including emails, meetings, presentations, and videos. To explain your strategy and vision and demonstrate how it relates to the objective and work of your team, use metaphors, stories, and examples. Number three, align your team with your vision and strategy. It is not enough to just communicate your strategy and vision to your team. You also need to get them on board. This means that you must demonstrate to them to them how their tasks, roles, and responsibilities fit into your overall vision and strategy and how they benefit from it. Along Along with giving your team the tools, support, and direction they require, you also need to clearly define expectation, goals, and milestones for them. Celebrate the advancements made by your team and give them credit for their accomplishments. Number four, review your vision and strategy. Your strategy and vision are dynamic and subject to change over time because of both internal and external variables. As a result, you must periodically assess and, if needed, update your vision and strategy. In addition, you must keep an eye out on the outward comments and In addition, you must keep an eye out on the output and comments of your team and pinpoint any shortcomings or difficulties. Inform your team of any modifications or adjustments along with the I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong thing. Okay, we'll just skip that part. Um, The next one is to reinforce your vision and strategy. Your strategy and vision are continuous processes rather than one-time occurrences. As a result, you must consistently communicate your vision and strategy and interrogate them into the identity and culture of your team. Number four, develop your team skills. In addition to outlining your goals, your visions, and strategy, also address your plan to get there. As a result, you must enhance the capacities, knowledge, and skills of your team in areas that are crucial to your strategy and vision. You can accomplish this by encouraging learning from both internal and external sources by giving your team opportunities for coaching, mentoring, training, and feedback. Okay, so next, how to ensure alignment of actions with ethical principles. So practice ethical behaviors actively. Initiate a personal ethical awareness program, including the definition of personal worldview and review of core ethical values. Remember, the ethical design professional is constantly ethical. Beware of new ethics programs. Very little of true, very little of true value is new. All of the necessary tools are already at your fingertips. Define the ethical problem when it arises. Ignoring the problem doesn't make the problem go away. Formulate alternatives. Avoid first impulse solutions without having extensive ethical awareness, training, and experience. Evaluate the alternatives. Always ask yourself, are they ethical? Am I the sole beneficiary? How would I feel if the rules or circumstances were reversed? Seek additional assistance as appropriate. Turn to previous cases, peers, reliance on personal experience, even prayer if necessary. Choose the best ethical alternative. Make sure the alternative you choose is the one that does the most good for you for all the right reasons. Implement the best alternative. With no alternative comes end results. Monitor and assess the outcome. Always look at how to improve the next time. So next we'll be moving on to monitoring and adapting a vision. Okay. So we were wondering on this journey, did you expect that one noun can be so meticulous? Me neither. You have a plan and a vision for your team as a leader. How but how do you really ensure that everyone on your team is aware and is on board with your vision? So improve performance. So by keeping track of strategic goals, an organization can keep an eye on how well it's doing in reaching its goals. Through monitoring the business, can pinpoint areas for improvement and implement excuse me, corrective measures to raise performance levels. Apple is a business that has profited from monitoring strategic goals. Delivering innovative products has been the company's strategic goal, and it has helped it maintain its market leadership position and produce outstanding financial results. On the other hand, businesses that fail to monitor their strategic objectives may face various difficulties. So, okay, so among the difficulties are lack of direction. A business may not have a clear direction in the absence of strategic goal. This is this lack of focus can result in misunderstanding, ineffectiveness, and lost opportunities. Bad decision making. Businesses are more likely to make bad decisions if they do not monitor their strategic goals. Rather than clear grasp of the company's long-term objectives, these decisions might be based on personal preferences of short-term goals. Absence of accountability. Organizations that fail to monitor their strategic objectives may find it difficult to hold staff members responsible. It can be challenging to evaluate employee performance and give them feedback if there are unclear goals. Excuse me. Strategies for adapting vision and strategy to changing circumstances while maintaining ethical standards. Improve your problem solving skills. Solving problem enables you to address problems as they come up. Although this term is frequently perceived as vague, It refers to concrete procedure with 4 easy steps. Identify the problem that needs to be solved, brainstorm multiple solutions, define the solution, and implement the solution. As such as a framework such as the one above will assist you in recognizing issues more clearly so that you can method, method, excuse me, methodology devise a solution. Additionally, each time you solve a problem using these techniques, you're making the next one, even if it's different, easier to solve. You'll eventually become flexible enough to handle any issue that arises. Learn to embrace change. Learn to embrace change. You must always adapt to change. Alternatively put, change is the only constant in life. As it, as yeah, as ancient Greek once said, although you can ignore it or ignore and avoid it, it won't go away. Being able to accept and even welcome change will make you a more flexible leader. By assuming more changes and accepting the outcomes, no matter what they are, you can learn to accept any circumstances. When going through particularly trying times, take care of yourself and ask for help when you need it. Above all, remember to treat yourself with kindness, since change is never easy, even if you learn to accept it. Keep an open mind. Everybody has an opinion about how things ought to proceed. This is typical. The type of thinking is a shortcut that helps our brains process information more effectively. True the though there are occasions when it can be adventurous, there are other times when thinking in this way prevents us from seeing fresh possibilities. This is a result of over Memphis what on what you believe to occur at the expense of accepting that you might instead occur. Being flexible means having the ability to change courses. Okay, so examples of organizations that have successfully adapted their vision and strategy. So, the world of international business has had to adjust to unpredicted shifts since the pandemic started. Although achieving this has not been an easy task by any means, it is comforting to know that disruptions can also have positive feedback. The final piece of the puzzle is how well you implement your change management strategies. Some examples of businesses that had to adapt to change are Netflix. Netflix is one of the world's top streaming entertainment providers, started in 1998 as a company that allowed customers to rent and buy physical DVD movies. The company added a subscription offering in 1990 where people could rent as many DVDs as they wanted, receiving rentals in the mail. After seeing enormous success with its physical DVD rentals, they decided in 2007 to focus on streaming content that could be accessed via the internet and to move away from physical media. Excuse me. Netflix's decision to invest in streaming and de-emphasize DVD rental changed the entire entertainment landscape in 2022. A study found streaming services had more viewers capable than cable or broadcasting television since launching its streaming services. Netflix offering has only grown, acquiring streaming rights. Next, we have Starbucks. Um, when the hugely successful coffee chain Starbucks opened in early 1970s, its few stores in Seattle only sold coffee beans and coffee making equipment. The former Starbucks director of marketing and retail operations convinced the owner of Starbucks to sell to him and a few investor partners to transform it. He pivoted the two stores into coffee houses. When you excuse me, when you could buy prepared coffee as well as beans. The company thrived until his leadership, and he eventually stepped down as its chief executive in 2000. He then reinvented the company again when he returned as CEO in 2008. In his second stint as CEO, he pushed Starbucks to embrace technology to engage customers better. He recently retired and will remain lifelong chairman. Today, Starbucks Today, the Starbucks app is the most regularly used loyalty reward app among many major restaurant chains. Next, we have Apple. Excuse me. At its inception in 1976, Apple sold top of the line personal computers and found success in the market. By the 1990s, however, the non tech giant was close to bankruptcy. Upon Steve Jobs' return in 1997, Apple focused its efforts on the invention and design of new products, starting with the iMac. The sleek growth saw immediate success, launching the company into a new era of growth, from the iPod to the iPad to the new iPhone. Apple developed various mm, excuse me, new offerings for its growing customer base over the years. It continues to build out these products and services with new technology, functional, and design elements. Today, Apple remains a major player in the market, reporting a net income of nearly 97 billion in in the 2023 fiscal year. Next, we have Play-Doh. So, one of the strangest business pivots ever might be that one of the most popular children's modeling Play-Doh, was the first sold as a cleaner that could remove coal residue from wallpaper in the 1930s. As oil and gas funkies became more popular in the 1950s, demand fell for the product, and the makers considered getting rid of the business. The owner heard about a school teacher using the clay in the arts and craft classes in their hometown of Connecticut. After realizing the potential of a children's toy, the company quickly pivoted to a more colorful product. By the end of 1950s, the clay had become a toy that one could buy in stores nationally. Today, Play-Doh is owned by Hasbro and more than 3 billion cans of product has been sold. So next, we'll move on to the future of vision and strategic leadership. Just now, 1 minute. Okay. So, emerging trends and challenges in vision and strategic leadership. Predictions for how the role of strategic leaders may evolve in the future. A vision links the organization's current situation with the desired future state. Although a vision starts in the present, it is always about the future. The role of strategic leaders and their approach to vision likely to evolve in several ways in the future. So, leaders are adopting a more flexible approach to vision, recognizing the need to adjust strategies quickly in response to changing market dynamics, technology advancements, and other external factors. There's growth emphasis on incorporating sustainability principles into organizational vision and strategy. This includes considerations for environmental impact, social responsibilities, and long-term resource management. Organizations are prioritizing sorry, yeah. Organizations are prioritizing digital innovatives to enhance drive efficiency, drive innovation, and stay competitive in a rapid evolving digital landscape. This involves leveraging technologies such as artificial intelligence, data analysis, and automation. With, with increased globalization, strategic leaders must consider the impact of global trends and diverse cultural norms and crafting organizational visions. Um, okay, so visions and strategic directions are the guiding lights that illuminate the path of organizational success. So, Microsoft uses the slogan, "Your potential inspires us to create products that help." That help you reach it. In their advertising. In addition to developing software to help meet present needs, Microsoft employees work hard to imagine and develop products that could inspire future applications that are more expensive, like the WMR Wrigley Junior Company previously mentioned. Its exclusive executives aren't giving up on the chewing gum market, which still accounts for 90% of sales. But to realize the bigger picture, they're encouraging people to take chances and consider things like what else is several purpose business, including DuPont, top effectiveness reflects a present focused approach by regularly reviewing short-term operational goals with managers across the entire organization. but DuPont has endured over the long term because of its leaders' ability to see, adhere, and change course fast to seize new opportunities. Since its founding, DuPont has expanded its line of business to include specialty chemicals, gunpowder, and now biotechnology and life sciences. Now we'll move on to the conclusion.
All right, in conclusion, vision and strategic direction are the guiding lights that illuminate the path to organizational success. To reiterate everything that was said during this presentation, by embracing emerging trends such as agility, sustainability, and digital transformation, as well as ethical leadership, we can navigate the complexities of today's landscape while building a resilient and forward-thinking future. I hope all of you are following through and listening to this presentation and taking notes. As I said, you can have your vision and your dream. Without your team and without knowing how to progress and go forward, that vision will be good as dead. And it can eventually turn into a nightmare. So you must empower your teams, foster innovation. The world, as I said, the world's rapidly changing. There's new trends and there are new changes within our society. Things are not going to remain stagnant. Things are not going to remain the same. You must remain steadfast in your commitment to long-term sustainability. Do not think today for today. You must think for today, for tomorrow, for the next decade, the next century. That is how your business would progress and succeed. And as you chart a course towards long-lasting impact and prosperity, you must turn your vision into reality and shape a better tomorrow. I thank you for listening to this presentation. That is the end. These are our references. Thank you. Oh boy. Oh shucks.